Welcome to Actually True. Today, we're diving deep into a harsh reality that many prefer to ignore. How your childhood economic situation doesn't just affect your childhood, it predicts your health outcomes decades later into adulthood. And no, this isn't just about being able to afford fancy doctor visits or organic kale smoothies. This is about how poverty in childhood can literally age your body faster, increase your risk of serious diseases, and affect your mental health for life. Let's start with something that sounds like sci-fi but is very real: telomeres. These are tiny protective caps on the ends of your DNA strands, kind of like the plastic tips on your shoelaces that stop them from unraveling. Every time your cells divide, these telomeres get a little shorter. When they get too short, your cells can't divide properly anymore, which means your body is aging at the cellular level. Here's the kicker. Kids from low-income families have telomeres that are about 5% shorter than kids from wealthier families. 5% doesn't sound like much, but in biological terms, it's like adding about 10 years of aging. That means some children, just because of their socioeconomic background, may have bodies that are biologically older than their chronological age. Imagine having a head start on aging just because you were born into the wrong zip code. So why does this happen? Stress is a major culprit, but not just any stress, chronic, ongoing stress that wears down your body's defenses. Kids growing up in poverty experience more hardships: food insecurity, unsafe neighborhoods, family instability, and other constant pressures. Their bodies react by producing higher levels of cortisol, the so-called stress hormone. Studies show cortisol levels in these kids can be 15 to 23% higher than in kids from wealthier families. Think about it. Your body's stress response is like an emergency alarm system designed to protect you during threats. But when that alarm stays on all the time, it starts damaging your organs, immune system, and brain. It's like leaving the check engine light on for years without fixing the problem. Next up is inflammation. Now, inflammation is tricky. Short-term inflammation is how your body heals, like when you get a cut. But chronic, low-grade inflammation is different. It quietly causes damage inside your blood vessels and organs, increasing your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other serious illnesses. Adults who grew up poor have significantly higher levels of C-reactive protein, or CRP, a marker of this chronic inflammation. This means their bodies are essentially fighting an invisible battle every day, long after childhood is over. So yes, childhood poverty literally sets the stage for a host of physical diseases later in life. Mental health is another major piece of the puzzle. Lower socioeconomic status in childhood is linked to higher rates of depression and anxiety in adulthood. And this isn't just because of what happens to you later in life. It's because those early years shape the way your brain develops and handles stress. Imagine your brain's thermostat for mood regulation is set during childhood. If you grow up in a stressful, unstable environment, that thermostat is often set too high, making you more vulnerable to mental health struggles decades later. But before you start feeling completely hopeless, there is good news. Research shows that positive parenting during adolescence can help buffer these negative effects. Supportive, nurturing families can provide emotional resources that protect kids from the worst impacts of poverty. So loving care isn't just emotionally important, it's biologically protective. Another hopeful note is socioeconomic mobility. Moving up the ladder in adulthood can improve physical health outcomes. If you manage to increase your income or social status, your body can recover in some ways. That said, mental health improvements tend to be more complicated and often require targeted support. So what's the big takeaway? Childhood socioeconomic status isn't just a minor detail or background noise. It is a powerful factor that shapes your biology, your mental health, and your overall well-being for decades. This makes early investment in children's health, education, and social support not just a moral imperative, but a smart public health strategy. Ignoring these facts doesn't make them disappear. Addressing childhood poverty can save millions of lives and reduce huge healthcare costs down the line. Thanks for watching Actually True. If this opened your eyes, hit like and subscribe for more no-nonsense facts about the world you live in. Until next time, remember, facts might be uncomfortable, but they're the first step toward change. See you soon.